As you guys can tell, there is a lot that's going to be going on in this video, from this thing to the new GT3 RS lap in the compound to even my split in half E36. To start off, to bring you up to speed in case you missed the last video, this is my full carbon Kevlar BMW M2, and it disappeared from the shop for a little while because Andy actually brought it back with him to St. Louis to get a head start on some of the fab stuff. The challenging thing with this for me right now is that there's obviously no engine. It's a giant secret because I think it's the most exciting part about this build. You guys are not going to guess it and you're going to lose your mind. And it got delayed by about a month, so rather than putting this on the back burner, we wanted to get a head start, chipping away everything chassis related that we can, so when the engine's here, we could throw it in, fire up all the cylinders. Now, before we dive in and show you guys what we've done and what we're about to do, I want to give a massive thank you to Coinbase for making this wild build possible. I mentioned it in the last video, but it's super cool to know that their team is full of car enthusiasts, and they've reached out to me, of all people, wanting to support something cool and to also spread awareness about cryptocurrency. And if you guys haven't heard of Coinbase, you probably live under a rock, but it is the most secure crypto exchange where you can buy, sell, and manage hundreds of different cryptocurrencies. There's a little bit of confusion when I first announced the partnership. I am not developing my own LZ coin. There is no rug pulling. Coinbase is one of the largest and most reputable brands in the space, and I'm honored that they chose me of all people to work with. And I have a code for you guys. If you use Builders20, which is on the screen right here, you're gonna get $20 in free Bitcoin when you make your first trade. All right, so now we can dig into the fun stuff. So one of the things that Andy was working on was mounting the radium fuel cell. We went back and forth a few times between mounting it here and here. You guys know that I like as little weight over the rear as possible. However, Mr. Denofa says that this chassis without as much weight over the rear as possible is dog when it comes to forward bite. Denofa knows his shit. We had already made space to put the fuel cell over here, and rather than covering it back up, Andy had a pretty cool idea.
So yeah, so normally we put the dry sub tank in here with a cabinet, which puts a lot of weight in the front, which some chassis like the Mustang do well with that. But we had the idea of, instead of trying to find this floor pan and putting it back to OEM, just putting the tank right here, which puts more weight back here. It helps the chassis with the forward bite. And if we have any really tall passengers, then they don't have to have their foot space crammed up, and possibly, I mean, it's never happened. I've never seen a dry sump tank like explode, but like from a safety standpoint, it is better to have it behind the firewall instead of in a box by someone's feet. Or if it gets over full and it shoots all over the place, because that did happen.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. So a little bit different having a rear mounted dry sump. Is there any concerns with that from like a oiling perspective for the oil to go farther, or not really?
No, to be honest, when I was with Warehouse, we had them behind the radiator.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, let's be fine.
The car came with a radiator and it was kind of like loosely mounted, but definitely not finally done. So Andy made these beautiful things that kind of resemble like BMX handlebars. And then over here, what are these, Dash 20 fittings?
Yep.
So some big suckers on here because we're gonna need a lot of water for this thing. Starting to get this stuff mounted too. But right now, I think we're gonna dive into some sheet metal work. Hell yeah. Dude, this shit's so crazy. Dash 20 vibrant line. This is like...
It's like a fire hose.
Literally. Like, that's a lot of water moving in there.
And they got the springs in there too.
I know. As always, we'll be using all vibrant fabrication materials on the build. When you guys find out the engine, you'll realize why we're going so overkill. We're kind of spoiled building some of these new cars because we can just order parts that are already made. Like HEK literally makes a bolt-in front crash structure, so we don't have to. Andy made this sweet piece of sheet metal that I get to do the fun part of bead rolling. Now I gotta mentally decide what type of pattern I want to do on it. I was thinking flames maybe. Does it look like I'm doing this right? Does it look? This is a tool.
We have technology.
The first time I did this, I didn't know about rounding the edges, and I tried to do a point, and man, did that suck. I'm only saying it once. I'm not saying it again.
What, bro?
Nope, I'm not saying it. I don't swear on YouTube. What's up, rapper?
How you doing?
What are you rapping today, rapper?
I thought you were stealing my job, man.
Yep, just rapping away, dude. B-roll, B-roll. Comparing my work What's funny is this one I messed up because I used the wrong die for 2 of them and then I used another die for the other ones. But this one, at least I did them all in the right direction.
You're getting better and better with each one.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a divot here, but actually you won't be able to see that. It'll be underneath the radiator.
Yeah.
What do you think, Andy?
Looks good.
So the idea is that I did that, and then if you can put this thing here, and it kind of looks like it belongs. In retrospect, I feel like I could have brought this line down lower, so that way this was in line with these, but the edge of the fold is going to be there, so it kind of looks cool. You'll never see it though, because it's behind the firewall.
Back windows.
True. That would be cool. So do I face it? I guess I got to figure out which way I want it to face. Yeah, I'll probably do something like that.
That symmetry's speaking to me.
What's it saying?
That's the one.
It's a beautiful day out, so I got my new heat waves on and we're heading over to my buddy Kevin's shop for the first time. I think I usually film this part, but this is pretty cool because normally we'd be going to the dealership, but now, not only does the homie Kevin have his own shop, the homie Wes has his own shop.
And it's the same shop.
What do you mean? Oh, well, I thought that was implied.
No.
All right, so what's the deal? What's this new place called? 9 Sport Motorworks?
9 Sport Motorworks, baby.
Hell
Come check
yeah.
us out.
And we're gonna get to use your fancy new alignment equipment? Hell yeah. If you don't know, these cars come factory on coilovers, so it's pretty much the go-to thing to spin them down a little bit. And what do you think? We'll split in between like a track alignment and a standard alignment,
Yeah.
somewhere in between?
Somewhere in between, still give you that street ability, not wear your tires out super quick. Usually it's about 0 toe in the front, a little more aggressive in the camber, about like 2.5, 2.4. Can't really get much on these cars unless you shim it, which unfortunately we don't have any shims, so.
All right, damn, look at the lounge. Can you come design things for me? Who's the mastermind behind the interior design? Can I seriously recruit you to help me make my space look this cool?
See your new house?
But look at this. Look at these walls. How do you decide that you want slats on the walls? Because it looks sick. Damn, merch game on fire right now. God damn, this guy. The merch is you.
Yeah, merch is
Yeah,
New shop,
I know
we're
that.
not new to the game, so I mean,
Hell yeah.
we've done this for some other people in the past, so now we're gonna do it for ourselves.
I love it.
All the girlies will tell you mid-century is the new look.
Y'all are too much. You ain't got plants in the shop?
The BBS wheel.
Damn, just flex on it with a Vizak sway bar as a clothes hanger. I need that. The shop. I like the lounge. Is this like a wheel stand that goes on these?
Basically, yeah. So the wheel stands, you got hub stands, and that's a wheel stand. So the hub stand goes on that. There's ball bearings on the bottom, and it floats on top. So you actually measure caster and everything like that.
You almost need an extension for that thing. Yeah. I think when you do the rears, if you add an extension, it'd make it a little easier. If I want to slide my tips over, I gotta loosen all these stupid annoying little bolts, huh?
Yeah.
That sucks for me.
That's what we ran into with Davis too. That's why we couldn't adjust it too much.
I mean, I'm sure it'll adjust enough.
Just a smidge it.
You want a wrench?
I mean, are you gonna be up in the air for a bit? What's your
Up and down.
Two different hardware. That's not porch spec.
You did that, G. That's you spec, bro. That's why I was like, you want me? I don't want to this because if it worked.
$12. That's it. At Costco, dude. Foot long, couple slices of pizza.
Are you gonna talk?
No! Pineapple on your pizza bowl.
8-year-old lane dog.
I didn't even said we might be. I said we might be able to.
Get a Sriracha hot honey.
Ooh, I do. I with the hot honey.
That's why I said it's pepperoni.
Yeah,
Do the bite.
But they do have Aloha. With
No.
ham,
The
pineapple.
hot honey makes it good.
Okay.
Do the little appetizer bite, pepperoni bite thing.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a real Porsche thing to do. We just got like wine.
We all have
glasses
like a
and
nice table set up with like a.
Wait, that would have been funny. Just, next time I do that, I'm gonna bring y'all white.
We can roll out the Oriental rug. Put the table on.
Well, we should put the rug down. That'd be sick.
I'll bring white like gloves so you have. May look like I know what I'm doing. Don't worry, I know.
It just moved quite a bit, yeah. Oh, it moved a lot there. I got hit in the. I hit myself in the eye with a hammer one.
You think she's straight now? We get one more for good men.
All right, we're good now.
It pulls it, I think, up when it tightens.
Huh?
Who's that going to?
Big D.
Hey, Big D. Friday we locked in. 5 to 7. VD. You hear me? Hey.
is stupid.
All right, so you can see in back, there's a decent amount of room to come down. But in front, when you have these little air cup situations, you can only come down this much. So that's not a whole lot.
We got Sally's, right?
Y'all are fancy over here with the stands and the laser. This set is pretty cool because you don't have to keep on taking the wheel on and off. I dig it. We need something like this for the shop.
I couldn't give a shit about my leg when you got PCCBs in front of you, dog.
Good night hanging out with the boys. I appreciate y'all. If anyone is, where are we? Claremont? Ocala?
Claremont, Florida.
Something like that. If you guys are anywhere around here, y'all need some Porsche stuff. Let Kevin tow your car. He's got a tow fetish.
Canby's in tow.
If you guys were at the LZ World Tour in Englishtown, New Jersey, we did 2 Tire Streets giveaways during halftime. And part of the giveaway package was a special piece from one of my cars. Now, we didn't really know what to give away, and Owen helped me make these beautiful bookshelf ends. So this is actually from the Willwood rotor that got damaged on my car when the wheel fell off in that Instagram clip that went viral. 2 of these are gonna be going to those winners. 1 I'm keeping, and then I have 1 more to give away. If you guys want a shot at winning this today, place an order on LZMFG. Leave in the order comments, I like books. 1 lucky person will get this, and the rest we'll throw in some extra goodies that we have laying around. The time has come. I think this may be the most track-focused new car we've ever taken around the compound. I have had my GT3 around the compound, the purple one back when I had it. I've had the turbo around it, and honestly 911s have never really done that well here. I think because of the fact that it's so small, even though the 911's an amazing car at high speeds, at low speeds, surprisingly my 964 was actually the fastest. On paper, this car should be pretty quick. We've got 2 75s in the front, 3 35s in the rear, and I'm gonna get some heat in them. I know how these cars handle really well on track, so I'm confident I can do what it takes as a driver. All the crazy aero and stuff that this car has won't really come into play because the max speed we'll probably see here is like 70 miles an hour. Max corner speed is maybe 45. This is probably one of the sketchiest courses a new 992 GT3 RS has ever been on, so that'll be cool. I'm excited just to hear what it sounds like. Sometimes these, the shots that Mike gets of the cars ripping around the compound are like my favorite content we ever get with any of the cars. So it's a good way to break it into the channel. We've officially hit break-in miles. The car now has a track alignment, so it's sitting a little lower. We have 0 toe in the front instead of toe in, so the car should be a little bit less understeery. I'm not gonna drive it 10/10ths, but I'll drive it pretty hard to make sure it gets up there on the leaderboard. But there ain't no way this thing's beating my Evo on slicks, so don't get your hopes up. Daily thank you to Heatwave for making wireframe glasses so I could get them inside my helmet. All right guys, here we go. First time hitting launch control on the new car. Let's do it, baby. God, this thing's gonna be fast. Wow. It's gonna be better than I thought. Do I shift into third or do I not? So much corner speed. Holy sh**. That might be the fastest lap right out of the gate. Oh my God, I just thought I smashed my windshield. I think I went so fast that water came out of it. What the f***? We went so fast that I thought I broke my windshield, but it was just water. Look at that.
Oh my God.
I got the brakes broken in, that's for sure. So first ever lap in this thing, we had 1.45 Gs behind my house. That's kind of crazy on a street car.
Yeah.
1.2 Gs of braking and 1.2 Gs of acceleration. And it's only gonna get faster now that we got some heat in it. All right, we're gonna leave it in auto this time and see if it's faster or slower. Spinning a little bit, but I feel like it's helping it some. Ooh, cutting the grass line. Come on, baby, turn in, turn in, turn in. We're loose. Woo! That was a wild lap. I don't know if it was fast, but it was spicy. So we don't know what the lap time is going to be. I think it's safe to say it's probably going to be pretty good. Here's the most impressive thing though, come look at this. We pulled 1.6 Gs of cornering force behind my house. How many people can say they pulled 1.6 Gs in their own driveway?
That's pretty insane.
If you don't have anything to compare that to, Google, well I feel like skid pad times are kind of rigged. That's a really good number. My track guys will know. And the fact that this car, like take a step back, look how low it is, right? Look at that front fitment. Woo! No rubbing. And if it's gonna rub anywhere, it's usually at the compound because it's so bumpy here and it's all like very slow speed, like high load corners. So the fact that we had no rubbing, it's gonna be fast.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be as fast as my Evo, which is sick because like the Evo's the greatest car ever and Porsche can get but I'm excited to see what it did. All right, we were about to put the car away, but Josh just texted me and says, I want to get in the passenger seat. So we're gonna give Josh a ride on this thing. It's, I'm curious to see what it feels like from a passenger side point, because I've driven these cars a lot, so I'm not as like in shock and awe anymore, but I remember the first time I was in one of these, I was like jaw to the floor. ¿Estás listo?
Listo.
Muy divertido. Y rápido también.
It's my dream car right here, bro.
You can drive it sometime, just not around the compound.
Don't.
Just not here. Let me make sure Pat's not in the crossfire. Are you ready for vrooms?
Let's do it.
It feels pretty nuts around here. Okay, we go vroom.
Jesus. It's a lot of G-force.
Oh yeah. What'd you think?
Oh, it is crazy. Oh man. It's my dream car, bro. It's insane.
Like I said, I'll let you drive it, just not around the compound.
No, bro. You're good. You're good.
As predicted, it could not even touch my white Evo 5, but it did come in second place, pretty much shattering everything else with a 2804. So looking back in the board, the only 4 cars that have gotten in the 28s were the Pleasure Evo, the TME RS, my white Evo 5. And the Evos obviously have the all-wheel drive advantage, they're light. My 992 GT3 as an example got a 2948, my 964 2908, so 28 flat's pretty good. All right, so what's next? All right, it's finally delivery day of the yellow Evo 5. Romulo is here. Where are you from, Fort Myers?
Yes, man.
So he wanted to add a disclaimer that his English isn't very good, but he's very excited to see the Evo. What did you think when you got the call?
Man, I just see for the video, you know. My first time seeing the Evo. Excited too much. I feeling, you know. I don't have no word, you know.
It's feeling real. Well, it's gonna feel more real when you see it, so let's go. So when you placed your order on Drift HQ, it wasn't to win the Evo, you were just buying stuff anyway? What were you ordering?
The white spare parts for my IS300.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, there she is.
This is Beautiful, man. So make a big toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your plans with it? Daily?
I want to use it for a couple of months. I don't know, because I have more plans. I'm drifting in Brazil, you know. I need more money, more parts for my car, you know. But I want to drive it for a couple of months. It's a dream for every person, like JDM cars, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I love JDM cars, and this is a dream. I don't know too much about the evils, you know, but this is a dream. Anyway. Okay.
So this is probably like one of the best setups on one of these Evos, just in terms of like very responsive, super fun and zippy. I don't remember. Do you remember what it made for power? Was it like right under 400? Something like that?
Yeah.
Flex fuel, so you can put ethanol in it. You can put pump gas in it.
Is a stock engine inside?
So yes, but built head with head studs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the trick with them is like you want to keep the torque down low to make them last, and ethanol will just make it foolproof. So if you have ethanol, run ethanol, and that will be the safest thing.
So fun for driving, yes?
Yeah. Oh, you'll enjoy it.
I send the videos for Instagram for you. Clean and beautiful. Thank you for this giveaway.
Yeah, of course.
I bought I buy parts from the Drift HQ maybe 7 years.
I know,
Yeah.
it was crazy. When we saw that you won, we looked back and you were buying from Drift HQ before I was even involved.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the support.
Thank you. I appreciate it for this.
Cool. Well, you want to take it for a little drive? It's good sound. Yeah. Not super loud. I drove this car like the equivalent of Florida to Connecticut in Australia, like super far. The only thing you gotta be careful of is like, it's not like a GTR where you can launch it super hard. So you just want to be easy to it, like don't dump the clutch.
Okay. The ECU uses the open stock, yes?
No, so we put a link ECU in it.
Oh, the link ECU?
Yeah, so
okay.
It's link ECU, flex fuel, runs response-wise. It's pretty good. It's a good zippy car.
All right, so we're starting prep work on this engine bay. This is Adam's old FD chassis. This had a lot of extensive work done by Carstruction, but yeah, they put this whole front end on this car back together. This was completely destroyed. A lot of work. I mean, you can get in here so you can kind of see how much they had to do. Essentially, they welded a whole front clip back onto the car, and we cut off the other clip. And so now we are getting all this stuff shaved. So we're cutting out this panels here, all these brackets and things that we no longer use. So this will be essentially like shaving the engine bay. And then we're gonna do body work. We're gonna stitch weld some stuff. We're gonna fill some holes. We're gonna probably cut some more things. Essentially cleaning up the engine bay and strengthening it is what we're gonna do. And then the goal will be to, once that's done, to prime it and prep it for paint. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We're getting rid of these brackets. I already started working here. I don't know if you can get this here. So don't mind the dents. We're gonna obviously fix that, and the holes. I'm using a combination of things to kind of get these brackets out. I got some other tools right here. So I'm using grinder, drill, smaller grinder, one of these, and just kind of a combination of all that just to kind of get these brackets off. It's not gonna be the easiest thing to do, but it's one of those things that you gotta do if you wanna shave your engine bay. As you can see, in order to kind of get these brackets off that you're no longer gonna use, this is, I don't know what this is for, but we're not gonna need it anymore. The best way to do it would be to kind of drill out these pot wells. You can see this one here I haven't touched yet. So this is kind of what they look like. So what I do is I'll grind the top of it so that then you can drill through it a little bit. And once you drill through it, it'll look like this one, and then you can kind of start prying on it. And you kind of use a combination of the grinder here, the cutting wheel, and you'll kind of cut, and then you'll be able to pry it out a little bit. And be mindful of how much you pry, because you will bend this metal. It doesn't matter because you're gonna be welding and doing body work over it anyway, but it saves you more work. All right, so when you get some brackets that are a little bit odd, like this one, where you can see that it got welded on here and somewhere here, the best way for me, like the way I do this, is I'll just cut it right here, and then what I'll do after is I'll grind this smooth with the grinder, and then you're really not gonna see any difference. Kind of give you guys an idea. So we're pretty much following the old chassis. This is the part that got cut off and removed. As you can see, there's really no brackets here. There's one right here that's still left, but for the most part, everything is removed. He kept these little studs, so these are still there, but just about everything else is gone. This is reinforced, so we'll do that. We got stitch welds all around here, so we're gonna also do that. This side's pretty messed up, but yeah, you can pretty much see, I think this got cut. But yeah, just about every bracket is removed, and this is what we're going for. We're basically following this as a template for that one. All right, guys, so we're at the next step now. We just finished cutting up all these brackets. They're all right here, so a whole lot of them. So you're gonna end up with a lot of holes because they're spot welds, and you have to drill them out, a lot of them. So now Josh is gonna come in and he's gonna start getting these holes filled up. And a lot of these factory holes we don't use anymore also, so like a lot of these will get deleted as well. And yeah, we're pretty much ready for the next step, which is kind of welding up all the holes, and then from there we're gonna start prepping for paint. So that'll be sanding the engine bay down and getting it ready for primer.
Just to let you guys know that for filling up these spot welds and stuff like that, like very little small stuff, you don't need to spend a lot of money on a welder. You can get this little bad boy from Harbor Freight, $130. We'll get you right. Right, so this is a little trick that I learned looking at TikTok and YouTube. Put the piece on the magnet, place it in there, adjust it. You hold it for now, but.
Now we are on to removing seam sealer. So for removing seam sealer, there's probably a few other ways you could do this, but I like to do it like this. It seems to work pretty easy. I'm using a big flathead, little pick, and a torch. Essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna heat the shit out of it, and you're gonna start scraping. As you can see, it kind of scrapes off pretty easy. So I had already done some in some other areas, but left this one for you guys. Yeah, you can kind of start removing it like that, and you can apply more heat as you go.
After I scrape all this area, the seam sealer, I'm gonna go ahead and apply heat, direct heat to the seam sealer. That way it gets toasty, and once you do the cleaning with the brush, it won't be sticky and gooey. Come on, nice, bro. Now that we have it clean, we're gonna be stitching, welding this area, plus stitching and welding this plate that goes over here for reinforcement. So right now, what I'm doing is heating up the plate. So once I hit it, it will be molding. I will be molding into the shock tower. After molding it, you want to leave the bolts tight as possible, so that way you start tagging or welding and it doesn't move around and it stays in place. Now that we finished doing the reinforcement plate on the shock tower, I already did some spot welds, but I'm gonna do it the rest of the chassis. So I'm just gonna show you right now this area so you can get an idea of how to do it and what to do. I do a bead, put in this top metal with this one, and then I leave like a half inch space in between. As you can see here, this is an example of how I do it, and that's how we're gonna be doing it for the rest. Okay, so we got to the point that we got a few stuff already done, like stitch welding. So after this step, most likely be sanding the engine bay, prepping it for primer, and the step after that will be paint. Will be good.
The guys have been absolutely crushing it on this thing. I'm super stoked to get it back together, and I think I told you guys the idea for this car is to, maybe with a little luck, get it back together in time for Slush Festival, which is about a month and a half away. It's in Colorado, and this car would be so much fun to drive there. If you don't have tickets, make sure to grab some. I'll put a link down in the description. I'm about to be out of town for quite a while. I say that, but I'll be like back a day or two in between a couple weeks stint. Lots of fun trips. I'm not gonna give you guys the full details of what's going on, but this is one of the things that the guys will be able to capture while I'm away amongst the other projects going on. But it should be really cool seeing this car come back together from the dead. I'm super appreciative of Reed making it happen and literally fusing together two cars into one. It's something that I didn't even think was possible. He made it happen, and it's gonna be cool to drive this thing again.
Okay, we go, bro. When you say